Welcome back, everybody, to 31 2000s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the year 2000 to 2009. At number 12, we have another underrated gem here. This is a fantastic, kind of psychological, kind of haunted house movie that was filmed in Massachusetts, so it holds a special place in my heart since I am from Massachusetts. So at number 12, we have Session 9. So the movie was filmed at Danvers State Hospital, which was a mental hospital, and I believe the same mental hospital that was filmed in the documentary Titica's Follies. I could be wrong about that, but feel free to correct me if I am off on that info. But it was filmed at the Danvers Hospital. And the movie is about this asbestos crew. The building is going to be torn down and made into office buildings, but before they can do that, they need to clear out the asbestos. So you have this asbestos crew clearing out all the asbestos in the area so that it is safe to tear down. And as they're tearing down the asbestos, there's weird, creepy things going on. Things seem a bit off between the crew, and one of the members of the crew locates these tapes from these sessions from a patient at the hospital. And you find out that this woman had multiple personalities, and he's listening to these tapes. And as he's listening to these tapes, there are creepy things happening around the hospital. It's another one of those movies where I don't want to give too much away, because this movie is so much better when you watch it for yourself.
She is putting her fingers in her mouth. Mary.
Have you seen our doll, Mr. Doctor?
Who am I speaking with?
But yeah, Session 9, filmed at Danvers Hospital. What I love about this is there was very little set design for this movie. They mostly just left the hospital as it was. There was certain things that were changed for the movie and certain things done as set design for the movie, but for the majority of the film, the set is just how they found the hospital when they decided to film there. You could argue whether this is a ghost movie or just a psychological horror movie. There's many different angles you could go at for this film. Many different ways you can interpret it, and I love that. It's one of those movies that how you watch it, whatever makes it scarier for you, you can go with that, because I am always for what makes a movie scarier for you and what makes a movie better for you, and Session 9 toys around with that. The characters are good. You can feel the tension between them, like some get along with others, some don't. There's a history between them, and the way the actors deal with everything, you can feel the history between them. But the thing that steals the whole show are the tapes that one of the characters finds and starts listening to.
You know perfectly well what happened, sir.
But Mary needs to know what happened, Billy. She needs to remember.
No!
Well, then maybe Simon would like to tell me what happened.
He's asleep.
Help me wake up Simon,
No!
Billy.
So, like I said, the audio, the recordings are from these sessions with this patient. And, she starts talking and then her voice changes as she goes into a different personality. From what we learn, there are three personalities in this character. One is a woman called Princess, the other is a boy called Billy, and then there's Simon. We are constantly hearing about Simon, which is this other personality. We don't know what Simon is really. We don't know much about Simon. We eventually learn about Simon, but the movie is constantly building to this idea of Simon, and it's building the tension between these three workers outside as they're working in this asylum.
No! I won't tell! Mary's a good girl! She doesn't need to know!
What?
Like Simon did!
To who, Billy?
And like I said, the movie is so good because it's horror by interpretation. It allows the audience to make their own interpretations of it to make it the scariest horror movie for them. But regardless of what direction you go in, the movie is just creepy. It has a very creepy atmosphere, and it's mostly because of these tapes. It's mostly because of audio. So many horror movies do rely on visuals, and so many horror movies rely on suggested stuff. But this is a horror movie that truly revolves around audio, and depends on this audio to be the scary parts of the movie. There are creepy parts outside of the audio, but it is mostly these tapes that are the scary thing in this movie.
Billy, where does the princess live?
In the tongue,
Why the tongue?
because she's always talking, sir.
So we're not sitting around waiting for something to jump out at us. We're not waiting around for something, some gory scene. The thing we're dreading is listening to another one of these tapes. And it's a perfect setup. It's just this guy finds these tapes, he's obsessed with them, and every now and again he steps away from the group and starts listening to these tapes. And so when we see him with the tapes, you know, putting the headphones on, getting ready to listen, we're thinking, uh-oh, we're in for another very creepy ride.
Mary? Mary?
Mary is asleep, sir.
Sound is very important in horror movies, not just in terms of music, but in terms of other things as well. And when you can nail the audio, it does make your movie so much creepier. And I really can't say any more than that, because this is definitely one of those movies that you just need to watch for yourself. I would love to say more about it, but I can't. You just need to watch it. That's all I can really say about Session 9. I'm sorry if this particular spot in the ranking is a little... there's less here than in the other ones, because I really can't say anything more about that. You really just have to watch Session 9 for yourself. Don't go in expecting a lot of creepy, ghostly stuff like that. Like I said, it can be interpreted in a psychological way or a supernatural way, but don't go in for the visuals. Go in specifically for the audio. And I guarantee you will have a good, creepy time while watching Session 9. That's all. I can't say anything else. Just go. If you have not seen Session 9, go watch Session 9.
I live in the eyes. You know that.
Remind me, though, why the eyes?
Because I see everything, sir.
And where does Simon live, Billy?